Hi guys, welcome to VIsionTek. My name is Ricky. Today we're going to be testing my Dell OptiPlex 7010. We are running the system on Bazzite 42. As far as the processor is concerned, we're running with the Intel Core i5-3470. We're running the system with 16 gigabytes of system memory, GDDR3. This is the Ballisttx version of RAM. It's running at 1600 mega transfers per second. And I'm pairing it with an AMD Radeon RX470. This is the VIsionTek model of the card. So let's talk about the CPU. Okay, so the Intel Core i5-3470 is a 3rd gen Ivy Bridge desktop processor that was originally released in 2012. So it's actually relatively easy to find systems like this that offices are getting rid of them. Sometimes you can even get them for free. I actually found this guy on the recycling bin, so I know that that's actually possible. The CPU features 4 cores and 4 threads with a base clock speed of 3.2 gigahertz, but it can boost up to 3.6 gigahertz. It uses the LGA 1155 socket. The graphics card, on the other hand, this is what the card used to look like originally, and it was part of the Arctic Islands RX470 generation. It's part of the 14 nanometer process die, and this has 4 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory with 256 bit memory bus, and it has 2048 shader units. Let's go ahead and pull up Steam. I was planning on running a couple of emulators to show you guys the kind of performance that you can get out of emulation, but sadly I am terrified of Nintendo because Nintendo is a mean evil corporation, so I'd rather not. You guys are gonna have to kind of get an idea of the kind of performance you can expect out of an emulator based on the games that I'm gonna test. So we're gonna go in order of how difficult it is to run some of these games. Is that sometimes if you have with Linux, you have very funny things that happen from time to time that makes you forget the simple things that Windows does for you in the background that Linux doesn't do. For example, I have a RGB Razer keyboard. I don't necessarily recommend it, by the way. These things are overpriced, and I mean the quality of the keyboard is decent, but you can get better for much less. Or this keyboard has RGB that you can control with Razer software. When you start the system, it appears to boot the RGB software first and then the keyboard, because the system struggles to communicate with it. So I have to get to the desktop, disconnect the keyboard, reconnect the keyboard, so that way the system can speak to it and actually recognize that as a keyboard. Simple things like that are things that you don't even think about that Windows does for you in the background, and that's why I don't recommend for anybody to get into Linux if this is your only system. So anyway, hopping onto the first game that we're going to test today. We're going to start off with something easy to run, Fallout on default settings, and we're going to start counting the FPS. Very good. Yeah, I did manage to get through the cave with all the rats. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right now. Fallout New Vegas was originally released in 2010. So by this point, if your system can run Fallout New Vegas, you can run just about anything from the Nintendo 64 era, PlayStation 1 era. Fallout New Vegas came out on the Xbox 360 era, I don't know. So pretty much anything older than that will work. Jeez. I think it was harder to kill than I thought. Okay, cool. That should get us by for now. Alright, very good. There we go. That's what you get. We're still running well above 100 100 FPS. So this is the kind of game that you can easily lock with a system like this at 60, and play on something like that for days, and you wouldn't have any trouble. But I think this is enough of Fallout New Vegas. This kind of gives us an idea of the kind of performance you can expect out of a system like this. So we're gonna go over and hop over to the next game. Okay, so next we're gonna move on to BioShock Remastered. BioShock Remastered was originally released on September 15th, 2016. So it's a little bit of a more demanding game. I think this is where I was a little while ago. Oh, well, this is just fantastic.
Come here now! Stop wasting my time, you horrid bastard! Stop dragging us out! This is...
Very good. Okay, so that gives us an idea of what this system can do with BioShock. So I think this is as good time as any to hop out of the game and try something a little bit more demanding, because so far the system has been doing pretty good. And we're gonna go to Overwatch. Overwatch is a very well optimized game, but hopping onto the options, we're gonna set up the medium quality.
The competition, shall we? Open fire! This will end. Like a gentle rain. Clear out! Under my protection. Volatile creation.
And we're gonna stop the FPS count, and we're gonna hop out of Overwatch. Okay, so next we're gonna hop on to Cyberpunk 2077. All right, there we go. Let's try to get away from this area, go a little bit more towards downtown, just kind of get a little better perspective of. Oh, by the way, graphics. So we are running the game on low preset on AMD's Quality Fidelity FX Super Resolution 2.0. Crowd density is low, and here's some of the rest of the settings for you guys to get an idea. But it's mostly just on low settings. A system like this can't really run this game much better than that. But in spite of that, by this point, Cyberpunk 2077 is one of the best optimized games out there.
NCPD! Ain't got no rights now, fuckhead! Shit!
Oh, we're gonna hop on to Helldivers too.
Have been launched.
Helldivers, reporting to the front!
Lost
Yeah.
Our citizens depend on you for their safety.
I life for super. I need them.
Okay, very good. So overall, the performance of Bazzite with a system like this is pretty good, all things considered, depending on the price that you find the main system, with averages of around 25 FPS on Helldivers 2, somewhere around the same for Cyberpunk 2077, and we were getting well into the hundreds on games like Fallout New Vegas, BioShock Remastered, and close to 60 FPS on Overwatch. Overall, this is pretty good. In any case, that was the benchmark run of the Dell OptiPlex 7010 paired with our Radeon RX 470. Overall, I think it's pretty good, but it all depends. It depends entirely on what price you get the system for. I got the system out of the recycling bin, so then I think it's worth it. But pretty much at this point, if you're gonna build a brand new system, the amount of money that you're gonna spend on buying a bare bones system like this, and then buying a CPU, and then buying RAM, you could get something much better. So it really depends entirely on the price. I really hope you guys find this useful. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this with anybody you know who might be interested in getting into computers. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye bye for now.